Okay, I'm going to put this up. I'm going to do my best French, and please do, if I don't do this justice. There is a part that they say it is for the Bluteorange in the for the eyes. There's Bluteorange. That is a separate committee for the decommission. And then that got confusing on the translate because there is one woman, she is missing. Somebody took her and put her in a closet. And the multiple facility, they are looking for one woman to get her out and to get her into the marriage of an important official. That is it. The rest of the policing in the facility, they try to stick to their own, but sometimes you have to cross-reference. Now, Moulin Rouge. Moulin, melon, M-E-L-O-N, is one aria. That is, you can't elope without a girl. Right, see, we come up with these sayings so you don't forget what we really mean. Right, okay, so I'm the cantaloupe without the one girl. Right, hi, 42. You seem to forget about the mission. Because I heard on TV, actually, on one of these things in America, they put on there the commish. C-O-M-M-I-S-H, as in commission. But the thing is that the Americans and the monastery children who live a hermit lifestyle never get out to meet the nasty, naughty children of undressing like Jezebels on Wall Street and ringing a bell like Pavlov to hurt, bury, and consume more than they will ever use, while the cantaloupe woman can't be found because we're too busy being Jezebels in Wall Street, ringing bells and writing tickets for ourselves in paper for everybody. And we're going to eat cantaloupe. We're not going to let him have his cantaloupe. Does that make sense? So you have to tell a story and the main mission, the objective, and the subjective. There is one woman. She is the shining, the holy, the shining one who comes down from heaven. She lands. It's like a spacecraft, a spaceship. It's unbelievable. For some of you, I mean, for us anyway, in the monastery and the hermit society, for you Jezebel community, it would be like borrowing a human's body for 9 months and then exiting the vehicle. And then as soon as the new caterpillar's little phalange started having feeling, she stood up and she was like, I'm ready to go. Where is everybody at Hermit Society? Get me out of here. No, I'm in Jezebel territory. This is a problem. No, I already know it's a problem. Like, they're clothed, but it's not going to look good. Because we already came pre-assigned. We already told the humans in Jezebel territory, being the new world of America, right? We already told them, no, she's got to go to monastery. We want her in the abbey or the whatever. Listen, Jezebel's also used for the multi-facility on the multiple defense books for a polytheistic approach at world security and policing. But that is outside. We do not mix or mingle. It's a separate, quiet place. Because you have to have each police facility responsible for the land and the people, and not the travel. You have messed up the process so bad. It is so painful. All right, so then there is orange. It's there is a very dark gentleman who dresses so beautifully. I am so embarrassed that this is what I am living in. When I went to visit him once, however that worked. He's an example citizen of the monastery hermit children, but with a full functioning outside of the monastery position where he is respectable and respected, unlike where he has to call to try not to set off flares about where I need to be. Because, right, and he has to remind himself, right, they're the Jezebel children, they're more understanding of this, but they don't like to be put down, right? It's a cognitive dance. I mean, it's an enjoyable job, I would assume. I would love something like that, but again, all right, so I digress. I'm sorry. So it's, he says in his, I thought it was French, but it's a French dialect. Maybe it's Frisian, I think he said, perhaps. I don't know. I don't know what's acceptable in the words outside of monastery. But anyway, he has an orange rouge, is how they say, for the rudimentary, like the rustic children who are a little more distant. Like, see, if you work in the acceptable position or whatever it is called where he has access to people who have direct access to the one who can't elope without his girl, who is trying to lead the people to come get her and has access to things and the real story. Then there's the rudimentary kids or the rustic kids, even though they might be in the millionaire club of like the soccer citizen and the football kings and queens of nobody gives a shit, right? Those kids, they're not as respectable as the gentlemen in the society somewhere else. They're less forgiving, less understanding, and they really don't care about a woman from New York. Right, it is yeah, I know he has trouble, but those are, right, supposedly his people. He has to say nice things, right? Got it. Okay. Say nice things, but just be honest. Otherwise, the police never get anywhere. If you have a problem with a door, you sometimes have to fix the squeak a little or know that the squeak. If you have a deaf man and he's the maintenance, how do you know? You have to tell him, the customers, they are complaining because there is a squeaky going on. And you might not have heard of it, don't want to hurt your feelings, but maybe you should investigate the squeak on the whatever's going on, because that would make the rest of, right, everything else work. Okay, so anyway, so there's that, and then we've got, let's see, because Bluteorange was really upset about the orange orange rosé. But the thing is that with the it's orange rosé. No, well, that's something different. It is orange, but because it's in a range, range. It is something that happened on the inner planetarium sanctity of the monastery, of the private monastery between the two, that threw the world off, and that is the number one concern for everybody. So here we are on me explaining. Then there is a Captain Ahab, Ahab. It's a 4-letter private word. And there's a Captain Nemo, Nemo. In Latin, I am this color, de color of whatever. I'm the Cant Elope without this one chick. Right, got it. Okay. So in Captain Nemo, it is my penmanship, penmenship, where my Cant Elope without him, and I still don't have him in New York, and he can't elope without me. He keeps whatever we wrote and did before we got here in our own thesaurus, just between he and I. So Nemo is the nobody, right? Got it. Okay, so that protects me on the New York with I got into skin. I'm wearing your favorite skin. But I can't, there's no body of governing here. There's no monastery. There's no commission. There's No decommission, there's nothing at all except Jezebel on Wall Street, and it's not one woman. It's a whole bunch of guys from the Lords of London. Just saying. So now let's see. We've got that. Where am I missing the mark? Oh, right. And I said for the Nemo, there's the Kraken. Kraken, which was 10,000 leagues under siege. Siege. The minute my caterpillar entered humanness in a Jezebel state of new world and wants things cheaper and then doesn't want to pay for things and then robs one another to pay for things, and I don't want to get involved with those things, and I just want to go to Abby and whatever elsewhere, and like happy don't want to ever see you, know you, or whatever I need. But here we are. And everybody just jumped on like it was a football Fritz Blitz on the floor, and everybody's jumping on it with some new sports contract. And here I am 42 years later, they're all living high on the hog. I put up today the accommodations. It is a hostile environment. It is like an adobe structure, less than an adobe because it's not single standing unit. It's attached on the side. It is, let's see, a hostile and adobe. It's a resident, but not in a pleasant manner or pleasantry. It is, they say, right, Europe really gets the understanding. It's like a temporary boarding house, is what they said. Like a temporary boarding house, like where they keep prisoners of war, of drug wars. It's what it looks like. They let them wear clothing and they shower, I guess. Again, you'd have to ask somebody who lives through one, but why are you letting the Cant Elope live through that kind of life? Humanness. She's the shining and the important one to fix things and keep you safe. How many more days do I have to do this? It's been like over 15,000.